It's great to be with you here today. I want to talk to you about the sorry state of the unloved, reluctant hero, the middle manager. Yeah, and thank you, Angela, for lots of fantastic maths and evidence and facts to help me with priming the audience. I think that we know that the manager is an amazing transmission device that, as Angela was able to point out, accounts for up to 70% of the variance in employee engagement. We know this is heavily connected to performance. We also know that many people do not wish ever to have these types of responsibilities or to be a manager of anything. It's well above a third of people do not want to for many reasons. And we know that we've gone through a year or two where certainly there's been pressure on people in these roles. We've had the year of efficiency, of consolidation. We've had the year of to do more with less. But I heard a lot of voices over the last 2 days saying just trying to do more with less kind of is a bit of a hollow thing to tell a person who's up to their eyes every day with trying to do their best. And it's probably about doing more and doing it differently. So let's have a look at maybe how. So, to begin, we must try and understand the reluctant hero. So, am I right? We have Katniss Everdeen from District 12. She must take on the Capitol. She did not want to be, I hope you've seen these movies, this person did not want to be a manager. I actually wouldn't put her involved in being a manager anywhere particular. She's killed over, I think, 600 people in 4 movies. She mightn't be the most empathetic all the time, but certainly you've got someone thrust into a position to represent a large group of people. And a lot of the time, if we look at characters like the Woody Harrelson character, I keep calling him Dustin Seymour Hoffman. He's one of my favorite actors. He's not Dustin Seymour Hoffman, he's Philip Seymour Hoffman, R.I.P. They're supposed to help her, but they don't actually really help her most of the time. She's in the middle, it's terribly difficult. Then we have on this side, John McClane in everyone's favorite Christmas movie, Die Hard 1. Yeah. Again, he is trying to do his best to rescue all the people from the Nakatomi Tower, but most of the people who are meant to be helping him are not helping him at all. Bad communication, no resources, they won't listen to him. Everything he does gets criticized. And look at what he's achieved. He killed at least 800 people in 5 movies. Again, not good for the health and safety. Before we get into the real, proper conceptual stuff, I was making this content in Japan, and I just had to show you this, because when I went to search out some of the pictures, this is what came up in Google. So if you're in Japan and you put in Google, Die Hard, the movie's called Reluctant Hero. And then the way they do the little tagline is, the reluctant hero must defeat his enemies, but he has no shoes. Exactly. He is under-resourced, not properly equipped, not supported by having no shoes. He is the archetypical middle manager here. Die Hard 2, Reluctant Hero 2, now he must save his wife, but he has shoes. So there's been a bit of an improvement over this time. We hope that you too can follow this type of improvement, and he actually gets a lot more backup in Die Hard 2 from those around him. So let's think about this through the lens of you have many people in a situation that they didn't expect to be in, they don't want to be in, they're trying to do more with less, they're put upon, and we know there is so much evidence, maths and business support, anecdotal and real, to show that they are a massive magnifier of all things good and all things bad. But we don't really sustain a lot of our intent around supporting them. So if we take it up a level, I've just taken four pieces of research from Cushman Wakefield, Bamboo HR, Gallup. We know that in general, anecdotally and mathematically, all across the globe, we're seeing some kind of trend downwards and flatlining in experience, engagement, well-being, and also into productivity as perceived by individuals. It's hard to really describe what is productivity per se in totality, but in the eyes of individuals, we see this now as diminishing. So we've got this interconnected set of things to do with people experience, how they are, how they feel, how they perform, how they engage, and ultimately what they achieve. And none of this is going particularly great. And Europe, you don't have that much to be proud of because you are the worst around the engagement. Yeah? So we see this improving slightly in North America at the moment, but in Europe it is static and downwards. So let's have a look and see, well, how can this be tackled? We know that there is hope here because the reluctant hero is in action. What can they do? Now, if we take some research from Gartner primarily here, to give you some insight into some of the facts that should justify wanting to spend resources and money on these people. We can see that continuously it is easy to connect that where employees state that they report to an effective manager, you get all this amplification about high performance, engagement, willingness to stay, and their mental and physical well-being. So the cause and effect is probably there. The correlation certainly is, and it is a cause and effect. I think we know that. And congratulations to you. You, in 2024, according to Gartner, have decided that you're going to prioritize spending your resources and your efforts around this leadership, management, development, organizational culture, and HR tech. So this, to me, is a lead indicator of maybe we're on the upward curve of things being improved for this group. So I think congratulations if this turns out to be true, because it looks like there's a good return to be made on this. And I think, fortunately, when we look down the right-hand side, this is a piece from the same piece of research from Gartner, is that the things that the employees expect of the managers and what the managers need from the organization are actually much more common sense and normal things than amazingly ethereal or complex or technologically, incomprehensible to us to understand what they'd be. For the employees to be able to deliver on these multiple commitment and risk reduction factors, all they want is things to do with, can the person manage a good conversation with them? Are they able to remove work obstacles? Are they able to treat them with respect? Do they create connections? Lots of things that we've just spoken about in the last couple of minutes. From the organization, what the managers are seeking is they need information on their people, and they want to know what to do with them. They want to get some support or coaching from outside the organization or their group, and they want to have clarity on what is the point of what they're doing. What is the purpose, the mission, and the focus? These things are not weird and wonderful. On this slide alone, I think it gives a lot of a recipe and a business case for what you could do to do great things for this group, but to take things again into the dark, they don't want to do it. There's an expletive here that had to get a few asterisks and stuff put on it. It's absolutely terrible in the eyes of most people. There's a list as long as your leg. I could have got the screen going down here and out the door of reasons. But they're all to do with personal reasons, skills, resources, relationships, pay, conditions, time. It's the whole thing of the layering and layering and layering of having to do more with less, not doing different and better. And definitely, I think nearly everybody who's spoken or who I've met over the last day or two believes we need some kind of seismic shift in this. Now, what we're trying to do in my team and colleagues at Welliba is that we're trying to look at how can you continuously understand, empower, and enable managers to not just have skills and programs and techniques to do things, but how can you get them that data in real time so they can understand their group in a mass personalized way against a model of what effectiveness in a team or engagement or performance looks like. And then be able to guide them immediately through advisory and insights with a personalized set of learning resources that they can use that iterates as what happens in the team iterates. Now, again, what I've seen with our approach to the world as a SaaS company in people tech is that for me, the dream of a SaaS company owner as an investor, founder, beyond the mission is that if you get mass usage autonomously by individuals of your platform, you're going to make out like Jesse James. It's going to be worth a fortune. Like things like the way people use Garmin or they use LinkedIn. You've got massive continuous usage. The reality is that individuals on their own do not use these types of things at all as much as if it's done in conjunction with team, manager, and a communal connectivity around how to improve things together. So that's, I think, the advice I would like to put into the mix about the human centricity when matched up with some of the technology. And finally, if I could leave you with a couple of takeaways that I've learned through working with our many clients about how to drive great performance through great experience, and through building the technology and rolling it out across the globe, is that to do this right and to get things done continuously, it has to be habits, not just skills. It's not a program or something that you teach people once off in a course. It's a way of doing things and has to be done continuously. So it needs to be worked into a set of processes of what managers do with a team. It needs data and personalization because all managers, teams, organizations are different. And I think, again, I have to thank you as well, Angela, again, around hyper-personalization and making things relevant to people. But how to do that at scale, you do need technology. And you need to kind of develop practices that allow people to start conversations and discuss things, not just to be left on their own with devices and like a mobile phone or an app and hope that on its own will solve problems for your workforce about how to be better. It needs the combination of humans and technology together. So in my opinion, these are the effective habits. They're like the Katniss Everdeen's bow and arrow. And wow, could she do some damage in the Irish version of the word damage in order to achieve great things. So I hope that this has helped you with, framing some business case, getting some ideas. I won't try and get you all to sing the song of the Mockingjay from the Hunger Games, even though I think that would be really interesting for me. It may be less interesting for you. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about the stories and methods we use to approach this, you're more than welcome to learn through the QR code or resources or through our colleagues. So enjoy the rest of the conference, and I hope you're having a great time. I've learned a huge amount this morning. Thanks to the speakers, thanks to all the people I've met in the group, and have a nice day. Take care.